Hey y'all, hey, welcome to 2D Talk Sense. Get on in here, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit all so you can see when I'm dropping videos and when I'm going live. Okay, and I want to thank y'all for coming in. Thank you to my new subscribers. Thank you to the day ones who have been up in here with me. Yeah, I'm looking for my thing. Who have been up in here in this struggle with me with all my technical difficulties and all my inconsistencies is dropping these videos. Thank y'all for staying with me. And for the new ones, subscribe if it's your first time watching and come on with this journey with us. It's an up and down roller coaster, but it's fun, okay?
Thank you. You love me. You really love me.
Okay, y'all, come on, y'all. Let's discuss. Today we're finna talk about Nicki Minaj brother. Okay, we're not gonna talk about Nicki Minaj before you get upset. Well, we're gonna talk about her ties with. Let me correct that. Today we're gonna talk about why I'm bringing this up is because while people are reporting since Nicki Minaj then went over to the MAGA side, people who's talking about the story brings up her connection with offenders. So I'll show y'all that her connection with sex offenders. And what I have noticed is that now this is somebody else post. So it says sex offenders Nicki is affiliated with Trump, who met with Trump, who appeared on the Epstein list for R-word minors. Now, for me, y'all know I say everybody who on the Epstein list doesn't mean they necessarily did something with minors, but until you release the files, we won't know all of the files and stop redacting the name of the abusers, redact the name of the victims. So that's another subject. Then the next picture is, I guess that is Nicki's dad. It says her dad, she admitted to him suctioning her sexually. This bottom picture is her brother in prison. She defended him for R-word and an 11-year-old girl. And then the last picture is her husband, a registered ex offender and an unaliver. She married and had a baby with. And I said, and that we ain't gonna talk about right now, but I said I didn't even know that because the story that they talk about with her husband, Kenneth Petty, all the time, is that he R-worded a girl when they was in when he was young, 16, 17, he R-worded a girl. He was convicted, did time for it. But he's also did time for unaliving somebody. I believe it was maybe manslaughter, so I'm not sure. But yeah, he did time for it. I said, wait a minute, why we ain't talking about that too? Not just that, but that too. So this is not my post, but this is somebody else post her affiliation with ex offenders. I said, but what I noticed since Nicki has been going viral and they've been reporting on her in the news, let me remove this. And since they've been reporting on her in the news, when they talk about her husband and her brother, they are saying alleged. Why are we saying alleged? Her brother was convicted. He's doing 25 years for R-wording an 11-year-old. When you say alleged, to me, that's taking power away from the victim. Alleged what? He's convicted. And I know there are people in jail who are serving time for things that they did not do. They got found guilty of things they did not do. And people want, when you bring this up, people want to bring up, well, Donald Trump and how he accused the exonerated five and use that as a reason for Donald Trump not apologizing. Now, these are the people on that side. Well, use that as a reason for Donald Trump not apologizing. It was like, well, they was found guilty. So Donald Trump, if you don't know, Donald Trump took out a page to call for the execution of these 5 young boys who was convicted of actually, I'd be saying actually because I don't know if YouTube is gonna strike the video, but of actually assaulted a white lady while she was out jogging, and the race don't matter, but she was out jogging in the park, and these 5 young black boys was convicted of it, even though they was innocent, and he had called for the execution of them. And because he's, at that time they was guilty. They was found guilty, but they have was claiming their innocence, and it came out that somebody else, the DNA proves that somebody else R-worded her. It was just one guy who R-worded her. It wasn't a whole group of 5. It was one guy, a horrible guy, who R-worded her and left her there pretty much for dead. And the DNA, and I want to say, if y'all go watch, I was only able to watch that Netflix movie about it one time. I wasn't able to, because it is a devastating thing. I wasn't able to watch it again. But if I'm not mistaken, and the guy who actually did it was in jail with one of the boys who was accused of it, and came out and said he did it. The DNA proved that he did it, and the boys was then exonerated. He was released, because it was one that was still in prison. He was released, and the other boys worked to get their record cleared, because some was already home, had served their time, was already home, and had worked to get their record cleared and everything. So that's why it's a thing to not call them the Central Park Five, but to call them the exonerated 5. But Donald Trump, even though they have been exonerated by DNA evidence, is still have refused to apologize to these young men that he called for the execution of. So that's the thing. So when I'm talking about this, people want to bring up that case and be like, well, what if he's end up being exonerated? That's why they saying allegedly. It's DNA that exonerated them, the exonerated 5. It's DNA that convicted him. His DNA was in the pajamas, maybe even the underwear of his 11-year-old stepdaughter, that he was convicted of R-wording multiple times while the mom was at work. So I think that they should stop saying alleged when it comes to the brother and what he did to this 11-year-old girl when he was found guilty. Now, if it comes out and you find some type of evidence that he's not guilty, then you could come back and say, well, alleged. He was found guilty. So stop saying alleged when it comes to her brother. So I'm like, Nicki Minaj been in the news, so we're going to talk about Nicki.
Nicki Minaj has been trending, over her.
Fuck her. When people show you who they are, believe them the first time.
So, so, and this is not about her, but it's just that as any person, when you get so many ties to so many people who was convicted of the same thing, it begins to look like a pattern. So let's talk about her brother. Now I'm gonna show y'all these articles about her brother. So hopefully we can get into in a pattern that we can start saying guilty, and we can stop saying alleged, because he was found guilty, and he appealed it too, if I'm not mistaken, and his appeal was denied. So, and I know our justice system, the people on the other side want to talk about our justice system when it's somebody that they like, but then don't want to talk about how fucked up our justice system in other cases. But it's pretty hard to argue, DNA. So let's go ahead and read this. This is from Peekaboo Magazine. Let me move this. Rapper Nicki Minaj brother Jelani Maraj, and I may be pronouncing his name wrong, but honestly, I don't give a fuck. Convicted of actually assaulting a child. Jelani Maraj was tried on Long Island, New York, in Nassau County Court on charges that he actually abused a child younger than 13 years old. Allegations he long denied. Now, this is from 2017. Jelani Maraj, the 38, he was 38, she was 11. The 38-year-old brother of rapper Nicki Minaj, was found guilty Thursday of predatory sexual assault on a child younger than 13 years old, people confirmed. Maraj, who long denied the allegations, was tried in Nassau County, New Jersey. Jurors convicted him of endangering the welfare of a child and predatory sexual assault on a child younger than 13. Nassau County District Attorney spokesman Brendan Bosch tells People. Maraj was first arrested in connection with the case in early December 2015. He faces 25 years to life behind bars when he is sentenced next month. The trial lasted over a month and saw the defense arguing that the allegation was fabricated in an attempt to extort $25 million from Maraj's famous sister. And his sister is Nicki Minaj. So that was his defense, that they making this all up to get 20 Nicki Minaj. And I repeatedly, 8 of 15 was working. The Nick is happy or What happened here? Okay. For some reason, it cut off and cut back on. But I have it up there, so I don't know what part cut off and cut back on. But okay, I'm going to go back to Carolyn Menard said Jelani's mother also testified saying that the mother of the victim once told her it's going to take a lot of money to get out of this. The girl brother, now 10, testified that he saw the Maraj private part touching his sisters. He walked in on the two of them, partially cold, and Maraj said that if he didn't stay quiet, he's going to take them for their parents. So that was that one, and I want to read the next one where he was found guilty and he was sentenced to 25 years, and he tried to appeal it. Let's see. I'm gonna make sure that this microphone and stuff is still working because everything had cut out for a little bit. Okay. Let's read the next one where he was tried to appeal it. So let me pull this up on stream for you guys. So Nicki Minaj brother sentenced to 25 years for child R word. That's the brother right there. Nicki Minaj brother has been sentenced to 25 years to life in prison for R-wording an 11-year-old girl. U.S. media reports. Jelani Maraj was first convicted of predatory sexual assault and child endangerment in November 2017. Maraj victim had said in a 2015 trial that she was repeatedly R-worded by Maraj while her mother was at work. The 41-year-old is the older brother of international rapper and singer Nicki Minaj. He appealed his conviction, but it was rejected by the judge. Prosecutor says the DNA evidence linked to Maraj was found on the girl's pajamas bottom. The girl said it happened up to 4 times a week and sometimes twice a day. Her younger brother also spoke during a trial, claiming that he witnessed one of the assaults. Maraj's attorney asked for the minimum sentence of 10 years and says they plan to appeal the judge's decision. Maraj asked for a second chance in court on Monday. He said he was suffering from an alcohol problem, and his attorney claimed he was suffering from other health issues like hypothermia, gout, and anemia. Radio 1 Newsbeat has contacted Nicki Minaj representatives for comments. So he said he was suffering from an alcohol problem. So again, if you stop saying alleged, because if he's asking for a second chance and he's saying he was suffering from alcohol problems, I'm assuming that is his excuse for what he did to this little girl. So there's no alleged. When they said, oh, well, it's because his defense was the mama made this all up because she want my sister to pay her $25 million. Now that he appealed, in his appeal, he said he was suffering from alcohol problems, which sounds like his excuse for what he did to this 11-year-old. So when y'all are reporting this story, stop saying alleged. This man did this to this 11-year-old girl with his grown, fat, big back, big eyeballs, wide neck ass. Like, let's stop it. And she want to sit here and talk about some Lizzo that dropped 300 pounds and still ain't selling albums. I hope they over there dropping his draws and he dropping a soap over in prison for what he did to this 11-year-old girl. And you want us, baby. My point is, y'all, stop saying alleged when we're reporting on this, okay? I'm finna get on up out of here. Y'all stay safe. I had to talk to my daughter. I'm finna get on up out of here. Like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. And y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day, okay? And stop saying alleged, all right? Stop saying alleged when we're talking about this. This is convicted guilty, and he said he was dealing with alcoholism and other mental health issues is the reason why he did this to this 11-year-old girl. Okay, y'all just read the article. This ain't my words. This is this man's words. No more legend. Say he did it. Now, let me bring it back. Follow me on all social media. Like the channel if you haven't already.